Sometimes a moment of impulse can lead you astray. Durotan stood and punched him, part forgiveness, part punishment, all brotherly bond. During his time in confinement, Durotan had a lot of time to think, and now his only choice was to challenge Gul'dan to a one-on-one duel. In Orcish tradition, this is known as Mak'gora. Meanwhile, Khadgar was flying above crumbled hills. He finally arrived at the magical sanctuary of Kaito, floating above the clouds, a true power center of Dalaran. The ruling council, made up of 6 archmages, governed, impacting political trends in Dalaran and across Although the 6 archmages might not individually match the Guardian's power, their combined abilities were truly terrifying. Their combined magic could shake the very earth. Upon hearing that Medivh was corrupted, the archmages quickly brought Khadgar to Lodi. Before Lodi was a cube-like structure, and while they talked, he suddenly opened a portal. The archmages were flabbergasted, as Lodi had never opened such a gate. Filled with questions, Khadgar stepped in, only to encounter the ghost of Karash, and turns out this was Lodi, the very first Guardian. He expended his last bit of energy to summon Khadgar here, leaving only a fleeting glimmer of red light. He could barely speak quickly, revealing Medivh had been consumed by fell energy. He helped Gul'dan open the dark portal to invade Azeroth, revealing the secret to defeating Medivh in one phrase. Medivh fainted due to extreme weakness. Thanks to his butler's timely rescue, he recovered in the well. This pure energy was meant to cleanse the fell. However, over time, the accumulation of fell energy turned the waters of the well green, clearly showing that Medivh could no longer resist this dark force. Moments later, the demon began to take over the main island, morphing into the Dark Titan Sargeras. The loyal butler who stood by him was ruthlessly slain, while Medivh feigned indifference as he strolled into the palace, stirring conflict. He deliberately twisted facts, blaming Lothar for Kael's death, making Lothar furious. He shoved the king aside, ready to fight Medivh, and if no one intervened, Medivh could have had the perfect excuse to eliminate Lothar right then and there. With Medivh's instigation, Old Sol was imprisoned in the dungeon. Medivh then urged the king to personally attack the orcs. He sneaked back to Karash to prepare his spells, not that anyone knew what he was plotting next. Meanwhile, Durotan, with the help of Wargrim, challenged Gul'dan to a duel to win a new future for the Orcish clan. If Gul'dan refused the duel, he'd be labelled a coward by the clan, talk about a reputation killer, so he had no choice but to swallow his pride, and he slowly stripped off his battle robe, revealing chilling spikes on his spine. Durotan spat into his hands for good luck and then removed his massive wolf pelt. With his muscular back on display, Durotan launched the first attack, officially kicking off the duel. Mak'gora was a sacred tradition among orcs, where combatants would rely solely on their own strength and skill. Any spells or non-traditional combat means were strictly prohibited. At this point, Gul'dan was starting to gain the upper hand. He choked Durotan, seemingly in control, but Durotan, desperate, clutched Gul'dan's bone spike for counter-attack. With all his might, he snapped that bone spike, causing Gul'dan to hurl Durotan away in agony. Gul'dan then swiftly pulled out the broken spike and charged at Durotan again. What followed was a flurry of wild punches. Suddenly, he felt guilt wash over him as he dipped into fell energy, with his clan watching closely. Seizing the moment, Durotan headbutted Gul'dan, sending him crashing to the ground. Gul'dan reached for his head, realizing Medivh had broken the barrier and opened the dark portal in the Dark Realm. But to stabilize the opening, Gul'dan had to resort to using fell energy and cast alongside Medivh. As Mak'gora's arbiter, Blackhand rejected his request. It was the clan's sacred tradition. Without a care, Gul'dan used fell energy to unleash his dark soul-draining spell on Durotan. In an instant, Durotan's energy was drained by half, leaving him too weak to resist when Gul'dan landed a powerful punch. This despicable act was a blatant betrayal of Orcish tradition and brought the contempt of all the orcs upon him. Gul'dan, fearing backlash, backed off. Durotan refused to surrender despite having the chance to play dead. He was determined to fight till the very end, even if he only had one breath left. Gul'dan, enraged, charged Durotan, draining his last life force with the vile spell. The onlooking orcs recoiled in shock, and in his final moments, old Durotan mustered his last strength to glimpse at his freedom. He slowly closed his eyes, and it wasn't just Orgrim. All the orcs were filled with hatred towards Gul'dan. Honorless and shameless insults echoed in the air, and no one was willing to be his follower any longer. Just as they contemplated leaving the clan, Gul'dan's soul-draining spell drained away their essence. Anyone else? He injected the drained energy into Blackhand, boosting his strength to the max and making him even tougher. With the added foul energy, his fur claws became razor-sharp, intimidating all orcs into immediate obedience. Gul'dan ordered the orc army to charge into the human world, intending to destroy it. Meanwhile, human forces, led by the king, attacked the orc camp. Outside the camp, the king was stunned to see the bodies of the royal family hanging in the wilderness and realized he had wronged Durotan. With the orc army flooding in like a tidal wave, the king knew his forces were outmatched but rallied their spirits, determined to fight. The main goal was to rescue their captured brethren, with destroying the dark portal a close second. As the war horn sounded, both armies swiftly engaged in an exceptionally fierce clash. Although other races refused to provide military aid, the dwarfs had a change of heart after some deep deliberation. They delivered a sizable shipment of firearms to the king, which became a significant weapon on the battlefield, bringing a glimmer of hope for victory. Just when the battle seemed to tilt in favor of the human army, Gul'dan arrived before the captured humans, cruelly draining their life force. As he replenished the dark portal with fell energy, countless orcs surged into the gateway from Drina. The war situation plunged into chaos again, while Khadgar regained his focus to prepare a new operation at Karashan.